should we start with the movie, the kidnap, or this app that I found?
Let's go in order.
What was the order? Movie?
Sure.
Okay, so you were saying somehow on the radio we started talking about J-Lo, maybe off the radio. Because they're playing Enough. Enough is on TV all the time now, right?
Well, I mean, it was one night. I don't know about all the time.
Oh, I thought you said they're playing it a lot.
Well, yeah, it was one night, but it was like on loop.
Okay.
Like it was enough.
So we're both kind of agreed that she's not the greatest actor, right?
I think depending on the role.
Okay.
Because I liked Shotgun Wedding, but rewatching Enough from so long ago, it's like corny.
But she was good in Selena. When she was Selena, she was good, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think it depends on the role. Like if it's not that serious, when I was watching Enough, it was the scene where she catches her husband cheating and he just punches her in the face.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that is at least make it a little more realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just was very okay, really?
So I brought that up. I wrote down a note because you were saying, oh, you got to watch Clone Tyrone. And I'm thinking, I don't know if anybody even knows of this movie. I don't even know how I watched it. It was probably one of those things where it was just on TV or Netflix one day. I don't think I went to the theater to see it. I know I didn't rent the DVD. Jennifer Aniston from Friends. Jennifer Aniston was in some movie, and so was Exhibit. She was kidnapped. It's called Derailed. I think it's called Derailed.
I'm sure she did get derailed.
I think she got kidnapped, and Exhibit was a gang member, mafia guy or something. Does anybody remember this movie with Jennifer Aniston and Exhibit?
No. Are you sure it was them? Because I don't trust you with names.
Well, I brought it up because it was one of those movies that I think about a lot. I'm like, wow, you know what? That was actually a really good movie, and nobody.
Maybe you're thinking of Dakota Fanning and
Jennifer Lawrence and who?
And
Aniston.
What's his name? The
boom, there it is. The who?
I can't think of his name.
Well, either way,
one
I'm
of the
right.
most famous actors ever. He's one of my favorite actors. Next to Will Smith. What is his name?
Idris Elba?
No. God, he's in so many movies. He's old.
I don't know.
He talks a certain way.
Really? Really? That's good.
When I say his name, you're going to be like, really? You couldn't think of his name? He's the most... he's in that one movie where he holds a hospital hostage because his son needs a heart transplant.
Oh, freaking Denzel Washington.
Yes, Denzel Washington.
He's that one guy that talks a certain way.
He does talk a certain way. There's a Denzel Washington impression people deal.
Yeah. So what's the movie you're talking about then?
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it has.
There's a movie with him, and I think her name's Dakota Fanning, where he's rescuing her.
Oh, that's a great movie. Mark Anthony's in it.
Man on Fire.
Man on Fire. Such a good movie. Holy crap, that's a good movie. It's a 3-hour movie. Takes an hour and a half to get interesting, but it's great. Okay, Derailed came out in 2005. Jennifer Aniston, Clive Owen, RZA, Exhibit, a bunch of other people.
What an interesting combination of people.
When two married business executives having an affair are blackmailed by a violent criminal, the two must turn the tables on him to save their lives. Yeah, I didn't think Jennifer Aniston was a great actress because I only saw her in Leprechaun and Friends. And here she is on Derailed. I'm like, wow, this is a great movie. It was a great movie.
You've never seen the one she did with Jim Carrey when he was God? Was that Jim Carrey?
Yeah, but I think I saw Derailed
first. Or was it Adam
first.
Sandler?
No, it was Jim Carrey when he was God.
But was she in that movie?
What was the movie? God? Jim Carrey, God? Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty. Is that her in there?
I'm looking. I love IMDb. Hold on, let me see. Wikipedia. I'm not paying Wikipedia. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston was in it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, she's a good actress.
Yeah. That came out in... Oh, I guess that came out in 2003. Weird.
Dang, that's been 20 years already?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah, so you got to watch They Cloned Tyrone.
What's that about?
It's very, conspiracy, government-y, but it's really good.
I like those. I like the conspiracy theory governmenties.
Yeah, it's very like it's really like confusing at first, and then as you watch it, like pieces start getting put together, and it's almost like when you watch the movie, it's almost like so far out there that there's no way it could be real. But at the same time, you're like, but could it be real? And it makes you. It's one of those, you know.
All right.
It's giving me Black Dynamite.
Okay. Speaking of movies. I saw this TikTok because Barbie and Oppenheimer came out the same weekend, and people were going to like the Barbenheimer double features.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing that.
And that's like 6 hours of movie.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oppenheimer in itself is like 3 hours. So there's an app. It's an old app. Let me know if you've even seen this before. It's called RunPee. RunPee. What you do, let me pull this up. What you do with this app, because somebody was asking like, hey, with Oppenheimer, if you need to go to the bathroom, you go at this part. Like you can leave the movie at this part, like when the brother comes in. So the guy on TikTok says, yo, there's an app called RunPee. You press the button when the movie starts, and then your phone will vibrate 30 seconds before you need to make your bathroom run. And then when you come back, it'll tell you what you missed during the boring part. Also, this app will tell you...
For every movie? It's set up?
Yeah. It's like a 13-year-old app. It's been around forever. It'll also tell you if there's scenes after the credits that you need to... You know how some movies...
You need to test this.
Yeah. I just need to go to a movie.
Just watch one at home. It's just a test.
Oh, yeah. I think you have to be... I'll test it. I think you have to be in the theater, but yeah, I'll test it.
Why would you have to be in the theater?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Interesting.
But... when it comes to bathroom breaks, that's stressful, right? That's stressful. I went to this one movie theater, the only theater I went to that had this.
You ever come back from the bathroom and everyone in theater's all riled up and you're like, what did I miss?
Yeah. There was some theater, I think it was one of those old school ones that would only play like one movie at a time. So when you would go to the bathroom...
Jeez, how old are you?
No, it was an old theater. It was an old theater.
Yeah, okay.
It was like 5 years ago. It was an old
going
theater.
To the theater on a first date. They only played one movie at a time.
No, it was...
Fred Flintstone owned it.
It was an old theater, but it was a recent movie. They had a speaker in the bathroom.
Jesus was making popcorn.
Jesus was not making popcorn. So when you were in the bathroom, you would hear the movie. So you would hear the dialogue. It was in Seattle. It was the one downtown with the chocolate popcorn. Okay. The one with the chocolate popcorn. What was it called? Cinerama. They only played one movie at a time.
That's like you're making this up.
I'm not making this up. But they would have a speaker in the bathroom, so you would hear the movie while you're going to the bathroom. Like, that's a great idea. They should have this all the time. Anyway, so that's my RunPee app.
So test it.
Okay, test it tonight?
Yeah.
All right. That's a great idea. Because I drink so much water. I go to the bathroom like every 45 minutes. I can't sit through a 3-hour movie and not have to take a bathroom break.
Just stop drinking water.
Trying to
drink
hydrate.
a soda.
Oh, hell no.
Drink a Mexican Coke.
No. Bubbly water makes me pee even faster. It's crazy. I'm trying to stay hydrated.
All right, so.
Go ahead.
This conversation, okay, so we was talking about, I wasn't even talking to anybody. These are just like the kind of thoughts that go into my head. Spend a lot of time alone. I'm thinking about Carly Russell and how she,
faked her kidnapping.
Got abducted.
Yeah.
And, the whole community is worried. It makes national news. Her man is worried. Her parents are scared.
Yeah.
And it got me to thinking, if I ever got kidnapped, I spend so much time alone.
Yeah.
Like I'm by myself all the time. If I ever actually got kidnapped for real, like how long would it take until someone actually noticed something was wrong?
And the problem is a weekday or a weekend.
Yeah.
Because you work, so we're like, where's Lizette?
What if I get kidnapped on a Friday evening?
Yep.
And the whole weekend goes by, and like if I don't answer my phone, it's not alarming for me to not answer my phone when like my sister calls or when my best friend calls or whatever. So I'm just like,
not till Monday. You'd be gone for 72 hours before any of us knew you were gone.
And by that time, I'm gone.
Oh, you're so
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, how long would it take until someone noticed something was wrong? Mm-hmm. Who's going to be the one to notice it and act on it? Like, I just was thinking about this morning.
Yeah, I think about that too. So for you, again, because you have to be at work at a certain time every day. So if it's getting close to that time, like, hey, it's 3 o'clock. Where's Lizette? We're calling you.
But like, in all honesty, if I didn't show up to work and nobody could get a hold of me, would you attribute that to me like, oh, she probably got drunk last night and can't get out of bed? Or would you be like, something might actually be wrong? Like, she wouldn't not show up to work.
I think,
like, honestly, be honest.
So with the afternoon show, I'm like, there's a problem. Like back when we were doing the morning show, I'm like, she's drunk again. She slept in because we'd have to wake up like at 4 in the morning. So you'd be late.
I was late all the time.
All the time.
But I didn't ever not show up or answer my phone.
Sure. So with this afternoon show, it's like, yo, something's wrong. Like
if
I would go to car crash. I would think car crash. I wouldn't think
car trouble.
Or car trouble. I wouldn't think kidnap until like it was the nighttime. I'm like, yo, where's she at? Yeah, I wouldn't think drunk because it's in the day. Well, but yeah, if you disappear on a Friday, because we're in a group chat, and a lot of times on the weekend,
but I don't always answer the group chat either.
Exactly, but on the weekends, you won't chime in on the group chat like when Eric and I are like talking back and forth. But I'm like, it's the weekend. She has every right to like disconnect, not be a part of it. So.
You guys, half the time it's not about work, and I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
That's what I'm saying. So if it's Friday, you're out of luck until Monday. You're long gone. You're in Colombia.
That would be like
you're on a what are these things called? Those ship. You're in a shipping container on a barge.
Yeah. And so I texted the group chat with my sisters and my mom, and let me pull it up.
Ask them how long you would have to disappear for.
I asked them. If I got kidnapped,
okay,
how long do you think it would take for any of you to notice? My sister, Selena, said a couple days probably.
Whoa.
I said, but we don't talk every day, so like, how would you know?
Yeah.
Like, even if we didn't talk for a couple days and you texted me or called me and I didn't answer, she's not thinking anything of it. Like, you know? My little sister said, I check everyone's location like once a day. So if you got kidnapped with your phone, I would know. Otherwise, I don't know.
I do that too. I check.
And I said,
my fiance's location all the time.
But how would you know? Like, what if you're just like, oh, cute, she's vacationing in the desert. Like, I hope she's having fun. And she said, well, she said, I would have seen on Instagram stories about it, or you would have told us that you were going somewhere, which is true because for this reason, in case anything happens to me, I do let them know, like, hey, I'm driving to LA, like, I'll text you guys when I get there or something, you know? I do let them know when I'm going out of town, anytime I'm going on any type of road trip, even if I'm going home, I'm like, hey, I'm leaving Sacramento right now. I should be there at this time.
Oh, okay, cool.
For that reason, that in case something happens to me, I want someone to care.
That's smart.
And so my sister was like, do we need to do daily check-ins with everyone so we know no one's kidnapped? And I kept asking all these questions like, yeah, but how would you know? Like, we don't talk every day.
Yeah, you don't know.
And my sister was like, group FaceTime it is. And then so that conversation ended there. But I was really in this moment of, how is anyone going to know? And even if it were to happen in like today, my son is not even home. Like, he's spending time with his dad right now.
Yeah.
I could be decomposing in my house before anybody noticed something happened to me. My cats would eat me and there would be nothing left. You got about, I can't do math on the fly. You got about 18 hours right now to disappear before I know you're gone. Like at 3 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be worried. Like, you can get far in 18 hours.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're knocked out.
Get to Mexico.
Don't even know which direction you're going.
It's a 14-hour drive to Phoenix.
I'm like, I feel like I need to have some kind of like how do I take care of myself in this situation? Like, I'm getting so worried.
Better swallow an AirTag.
Yeah, like, do I tape one to the bottom of my foot? You know, the first thing a kidnapper is going to do is break your phone.
Yeah, they don't take you with your phone.
Yeah. So I'm like,
you're in trouble.
I'm like, there's really like no way. Sayonara. Like, no one's going to know.
That's why the kidnapper industry is booming, Lizette.
No one's going to know. And even if say my best friend notices like something might be wrong, that still is going to take at least a day. For the people that I do talk to regularly, I think it'll be at least a day going by of them trying to call or text me and hearing no response before they like reach out to one another or one of my sisters like, have you heard from her? But that's still a long time.
You know what they say about the first 48? If they can't catch the person within 2 days, chances are that's going to be a cold case.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I check my fiance's location all the time. All the time. Just in case.
Yeah,
So,
but
I
what's
don't
that
know.
going to do? Like you're checking the location of her phone, not of her. Like assuming that she's okay and her phone's with her, but like, how do you really know? But your guys' situation, like if she doesn't come home that night, then you're going to be like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because
so I'm safe.
Yeah, you're safe and she's
I'm good.
safe.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, you're not. You're not safe. I don't know.
Anyways,
Good
these
luck
are the
with that.
things that run through my mind.
How long?
I also feel like I'm going to get in a car accident soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because the doctor's messing around with your eyes? I'm surprised you drove yesterday.
Yeah, I almost did it.
Yeah.
But I felt fine.
Because Lizette had her eyes dilated for her upcoming LASIK surgery.
No, it just was, I only couldn't see up close.
Okay.
So with wearing my eyeglasses and having the shades, like I could see the road and I could see far away and I could see other cars and street signs and stuff. I couldn't see anything up close. I couldn't see my computer screen. I couldn't see my phone. I couldn't see like my GPS screen barely, but luckily I knew where I was going.
Huh.
So that was the only issue was like, first I didn't know if I was going to be able to drive.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know if I should drive. Like, I feel like I can drive because I just drove myself home from the doctor's office, but that's down the street. I don't know if I should get on the highway and drive 20
Roseville
minutes.
to Sac, yeah.
Yeah. So then I almost stayed home or just worked remotely yesterday. But then I felt okay enough to drive. But then the only problem was that I couldn't do any prep for my show because I couldn't see any of the screens and the screens were hurting my eyes.
Yeah.
So I almost like didn't have any prep done. But then, I don't know, it worked out. I just got here and put all the shades down, turned off all the lights.
There needs to be some sort of antidote. Like when the eye doctors, when the optometrists dilate your pupils, they just drop little things in it and your pupils
And then they send you on your way.
Yeah, there needs to be some like counteractive antidote. Like the, what's that thing called when you overdose on...
Narcan.
Hey, thank you. Yes. There needs to be a Narcan for your pupils. Like, all right, cool, we dilated, we did our test. Let me make some more drops and squeeze your pupils right back up.
What if there is, but it's just like super expensive and they're like, nah, that'll go back to
Probably.
normal naturally. I feel like there's anecdotes and there's cures for everything.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it.
Because there's money in keeping you
sick
or prolonging your health, not fixing your health.
Or making you sick.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
We all know. We all know.
Okay, so there's this whiteboard down the hall in the newsroom, like where the actual like, real radio people are, the news place. And every now and then they do a question. Did you see the one that was up there for the last couple of days?
No, I don't go over to that side.
Okay. So it was actually really good. And every day I passed it. Normally they wipe it down and replace it after a day.
Normally they what?
Wipe it down. Shoulders, chest.
Okay.
But this one was up for a couple of days. And every day I walked past it, I'm like, that's a great question. That's a great podcast question. That's a great radio question. Something to the effect of, where was the first place you ever flew?
Mexico.
And what was the last place you flew to?
First place was Mexico.
First time you ever got on a plane was go to Mexico?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
And the last place I ever flew to, to El Paso.
Huh.
Or technically the last place I flew to was to Sacramento from El Paso. That was in New Year's.
How old were you the first time you jumped on a plane when you went to Mexico?
I think I was like in 6th grade.
Okay.
Or I was going into 7th grade. That was my son's age.
It still boggles my mind how there are people out there that have still never been on a plane.
Yeah.
Like recently, one of the times I went through an airport, there was some kid in front of me. He had to have been like senior in high school, freshman, college. Well, no, just like, not a kid, not a little toddler. Like he's flying by himself. and he didn't know how to do anything. He didn't know how to go through the metal detector and put your luggage on the crate, whatever. He didn't know because he's never done it before. So he's asking me, he's like, what do I do? And I'm like, just take this off and put this there and go there.
See, that's why I don't like going like if I've never done it before, I've never been there before, I don't like going by myself. I was him the very first time I got on a Greyhound. Okay. I've been on a bus one time. It was that one and only time. And I was only nervous about it because I had never been on a bus before. So like I didn't know where to go or what to do. And like luckily I had flown before. So it was like similar and it was self-explanatory and pretty easy. Like I would like to think that I'm not that stupid of a person and like I could figure that stuff out. But I was super nervous because I just like didn't know what to expect.
Right. So I don't know how old this kid was, but if he's flying by himself, 17 or 18, first time he flew. And so anyway, it boggles my mind that people haven't flown before. It's just weird to me, but it's totally fine. First place, like I'm not judging. It's just one of those things like, you've never, like for you've never watched a Star Wars or a Star Trek. And I'm like, that's weird.
Or Harry Potter.
It's like, that's
But you've
weird.
never seen Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, true. But I'm not judging. I just say it's weird to me. My first place I ever flew was to Burbank because my grandma, my grandpa are in LA. And so from the Bay Area, we flew out to visit them.
How old were you?
I think I was 7.
Dang.
Was I 7 years old, I think? The reason I remember...
Were you allowed to smoke on planes back then?
The reason I remember is because when I was 7 years old...
Aren't you going to answer the question?
No, you couldn't smoke on a plane.
Oh, okay, because I do in pictures and like the old ads from like...
Yeah, that wasn't it.
From like the 1940s.
When they're serving pot roast. Like they're coming down the aisle. Would you like a slice of pot roast, sir? We have chocolate mousse for dessert. No, but I had when I was 7 years old, I had this blue shirt with the blue number 7 on it. And it was my favorite shirt. And I there's a photo of me at my grandparents' house wearing that shirt. But we went there before. Like we drove a couple times. I think my dad was just like, look, man, I'm not driving. You guys are old enough to jump on a flight. Like, we're going on a plane. We're not driving all the way down to L.A. So for whatever reason, we finally flew. So it was Burbank. My last flight was to Seattle just a couple weeks ago for MLB All-Star. But I wish I took a photo of that whiteboard because people had some really cool trips. Like, my first one was Phoenix. My last one was Bahamas, or like,
Dang.
Like really dope stuff. Like, I went international.
Like flights when you're a kid compared to flights when you're an adult and you can just like do whatever you want.
Yes. There was a time I just drove out to the airport. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go. So I like threw some clothes in a bag. I drove I probably took an Uber or something like that to the airport. I just went to the counter and I'm like, hey, is there a flight going to San Diego? They're like, yeah, like in 2 hours. I'm like, all right, can I get a ticket, please? Like I just...
What?
Yeah.
People only do that in the movies.
Yeah. And that's what I felt. I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm one of those people in the movies. And I just walked up to the counter. It could have been, like now I specifically fly either Southwest or Alaska, depending on where I'm going. But back then I'm like, I don't care. I'm just going to go up to any counter. I'm like, hey, I want to go to San Diego.
Have you ever flown Spirit?
No.
Like ever? Even before like Spirit was like, ooh, Spirit?
Never.
I've been on a Spirit flight once.
My buddy went on it. He said it's not that bad. He's like, whatever, dude. It saves you a few bucks and you get to Vegas real quick.
Yeah, I went to Vegas too. I flew out of Oakland.
You've been on a real flight and you've been on Spirit. What's the difference?
To me, Spirit was the plane felt like jankier, and
I don't want a janky plane.
It was smaller.
Okay.
It felt smaller, and I'm already like a small person, but that flight. But maybe it actually was a smaller flight because it was just going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, why would the plane be that big?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, who cares? Like, we're all drunk and we just want to get to Vegas. We don't care how we get there.
Was the flight attendant like what? Were they?
They're normal.
Okay.
It was a normal flight attendant, normal flight, but like the plane did feel. But smaller planes, you do feel the turbulence more.
Yeah.
So like maybe it was just that.
Huh. Were the seats regular seats? I heard like the seats are like.
I don't really remember.
Okay, you pre-partied a little bit.
I think so.
Huh. Okay.
That was my first time to Vegas too. Spirit Airlines.
Huh. So DM us. Let us know. First, let us know a couple things. How long do you think you can go being kidnapped without anybody knowing? Like, how long would you?
No, you're wording that.
I am
wrong.
wording that wrong.
Like, how long would it take for someone to notice if you got kidnapped?
There it is. Yes, and also
like
let us know.
You're making it sound like it's a competition. Like, how long can you stay missing? It's not what this is.
Also, let us know the first flight you took and your latest flight.
Flight to these nuts.
Yeah. DM us on Instagram at Strawberry and Lizette. All right, thank you for podcasting. We will podcast with you next time. I thought there was something else I had, but I'm going to try that.
I feel like we were going to talk about
I wrote down J-Lo, Clone Tyrone.
Ding Dong Ditch.
Oh, yes.
We can save it for another time.
Save it for the next one. There you go.
Strawberry, ew.
Derailed, first and last flight,
There's
run
a lady
pee.
in here. It's me.
Yeah, right. All right, that's the podcast. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.